Oh man, Valve was fined $4 million in a Steam controller patent case. Corsair got him. So Ironburg Inventions, the IP holding arm of Scuf, who Corsair recently acquired, made the argument that the Steam controller contained the same rear side control surfaces that they had just patented. Interestingly, Microsoft used the same implementation of back paddles on the Xbox Wireless Elite controllers, but they licensed the patent from Corsair for $6 million, which Valve could have done because they have enough money to buy the earth and all the heavens. They just decided not to. So now they've had to pay, I think it's $4 million in damages, and that may not be entirely the end of it. Don't quote me on that. One thing that was really interesting about this was just that there's a lot of patents in the game industry, from Sega's patent on in-game directions to Nintendo's patent on the D-pad, which is interesting because it might actually explain why Xbox D-pads suck so bad. So if it's a unique feature that can be monetized, you can pretty much bet that game developers will try to protect it. In this case, I think Scuf was extremely reasonable about it. They wrote a letter to Valve explaining their belief that the rear controllers were an infringement, and apparently Valve just went ahead with it anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, there was I believe it was a patent troll situation. But a while ago, I remember talking on the WAN show about there was someone had patented the idea of having a mini game during loading screens. Because console loading screens back in the day, I haven't played much console lately, but it might still be not great. But console loading screens back in the day used to be horrible. I remember trying to load Morrowind on the original Xbox was an ordeal. One of the worst parts about dying was the fact that you'd have to load the game again, not the fact that you lost your save necessarily. Yeah. You have to launch the game again. It would take so long. So yeah, the idea of having I don't know, even Snake running during those loading screens was patented. So there was one game that had it, and it was really cool, and everyone was like, wow, this would be awesome, this would be really great when everyone starts doing this, and then just nothing, and it sucked. But
I do kind of feel like in gaming, patents should probably not be quite as long as they are in other industries, because it moves so fast. I mean, what's the patent expiry standard? 20 years. So in the United States, for utility patents filed on or after June 1995, it's 20 years from the earliest filing date. So 20 years. What was happening in gaming in 2000? That would have been Xbox. That would have been first generation Xbox, is how long we would have to wait for something like that, or something like a better D-pad design to start to make its way out into the general market. That's pretty rough. And that assumes that they don't manage to extend or renew the patent in any meaningful way. And I'm all for having the opportunity to make money based on your innovations. That absolutely matters. But especially if it's being utilized in a way that has no appreciable impact on your business whatsoever, it's pretty rough. I mean, I would make the argument at this point that the Xbox does not really compete with the Nintendo Switch. And Microsoft and Nintendo, can you think of a way that they really go toe-to-toe anywhere?
I mean, yeah, not really. I can't think of that many people that are oh man, I don't know which one I'm going to get, a Switch or an Xbox. It's either, am I going to buy a Switch or not? Or am I going to buy an Xbox or a PlayStation?
Yeah, in a sense, they're both competing for some chunk of your disposable income.
Yeah.
But to me, they're not two sides of the same coin. They're completely different wallets. It's different currencies. So it just feels like there's got to be a better way to do it. Unfortunately, I'm just one of those people who is finding a problem, not one of those ones who's suggesting a real viable solution.